Hello, Grant. Welcome
What's
to Mock
going on?
Mondays. This is Patrick. I'm joined by Grant as usual. We are doing here an extra special Mock Monday. Tonight we are joined by the members of the community, and it looks like we can now go to the draft. We are joined by 30 other people, and we're going to be doing a live draft showing off the real-time mocking feature, which is exciting. It's always fun to do these with a large group, kind of get you a different vibe than doing them on your own with the computer. Computers don't know what they're doing.
Love having the full lobby full of people. That
Mm-hmm.
always makes me smile.
Yes. Even if some teams may not be picking, maybe they'll trade up. Oh, wait, there's no trades. No, they can't trade up. All right. Well, now we're in the lobby here. Let me just, where do I turn off? And I'm just going to go ahead and turn off sounds just to keep it nice and quiet. So just taking a look, I just want to show off our real time mocking lobby here. I'm picking for the Bengals. I'm not going to be picking for a while. Who are you picking for?
Oh, I'm picking for the Lions
Oh
this
yeah,
time
there's your name
around.
right there on the right side. So you got the whole lobby here. You got all their names. We got Kalen is leading us off the Jaguars starting. We have our big time here in 8 minutes. Feels very official, like we're actually the GMs here. And maybe some of us could do a better job, but right now this is all we can do. We have some very cool features here. What you can do is you can do stuff like add players to the queue. Like if I wanted to say, if Aiden Hutchinson's there at 31, I want the Bengals take him. I can add him to my queue. And now I look at my queue and it's like, Aiden Hutchinson's still there. He might be there at 31.
Yeah.
Right? So that's just one key feature that I think really helps you organize your picks and kind of because what I like to do when I do these, and I do these a lot, like when I do this with fantasy drafts, but now you can do this with mock drafts. Is I'll go through and I'll go like down the list, and so obviously I'm not picking until 31. So I'll go through like this is what I do for fantasy drafts. This is what I like to do. I love this feature with mock drafts. I'll go through and I'll grab everyone that I think is a fit for the Bengals at 31. Obviously, I got to consider O-line, but they have other needs too. I love McCreary. Cameron Thomas is good. Trayvon Walker is good. Zion Johnson's a great fit if he's there at 31. That'll be a heavy consideration. You can just go through, and if you're like, if you really like someone who maybe you think is higher, should be higher in the rankings, what you can do is, so let's see, I go down here and I see Kyler Gordon. Let's say I'm a big Kyler Gordon fan. I could go down here and I could add him, so that when it comes to my pick, I'm not like forgetting about him. And then you can also come here and it's like, I like Kyler Gordon better than Trent McDuffie, so I'm going to move him up. It's easy. It's that easy. It's just supposed to be really simple. Who do you like to sneak in here to the first round or the first 2 rounds? That's what we're picking tonight. We're doing the first 2 rounds mock draft. Who do you
Let
like
me
to
say,
sneak in here?
I'm
Like
I'm a fan
let's look
of.
down here a little bit. Below like 70. Who are you looking at? Chad Bowman. That one. I could see that. His ADP is pretty high though. I'm surprised. I think he's a good player. And we do have the handy dandy ADP feature. That's a good one. Sneak in there. Oh, we lost Grant.
All right, I'm
You're
back.
back.
Sorry. Yeah, George Pickens, just a guy that I like in the first round, though. I could see him. He's fell due to injury. We had him as a top guy at the beginning of the year.
Right.
Another guy that's rising up draft boards is Jalen Petrie out of Baylor, and that man's just a walking playmaker. I could
Right.
see him up here in the second round.
Right. I mean, George Pickens not that much of a rise. If I'm looking at anyone here to rise up in the first 2 rounds, that's out of our top 2 rounds right now. It's got to be Justin Ross. I mean, he's got all
Oh
the
yeah.
skill, a lot of injuries, didn't play with the best quarterbacking situation the past year. So it's something. Brian Robinson's also a really good player. That I think it's just his age. You don't really draft senior running
Right.
backs that high, but I feel like some of these running backs are gonna. I feel like in mock drafts, I feel like sometimes these running backs end up going lower than maybe NFL team value. Sky Moore has been getting a lot of buzz. A lot of buzz. I need to go back on his tape, see what this is all about. But he has been getting a ton of buzz about his play recently.
No doubt.
Wandale Robinson's a good player. Boy Mafe is also. I think that I went back on Boy Mafe after we did these the last time we took a long hard look at these rankings. But I'm a big fan of his. I think he could definitely end up climbing higher. I mean, a lot of this is really dependent on the combine too.
Yeah, absolutely. We're still waiting on that athletic testing for these guys.
Right. That's a lot of what I'm trying to judge here. I think Boy Mafe's going to be phenomenal. He's got great size, and he's going to be phenomenal at the combine. Which put those things together for an edge, and that means they are rising up the board quick. There's a few positions that I would say really a lot of athleticism really will kind of decide where they go. You know, we see some cornerback or wide receiver out here run a 4.3 at 6'3", they're going to rise up the board. Even undeserved, maybe they're not that good, but it's always worthy of considering. So let's take a look around here a little bit more. We also have a room chat. We already got some chats in here. We got Tim controlling the Steelers. It's lagging a little bit here. Well, I am live streaming and have like 100 Chrome tabs open right now, so that's entirely my fault. But yeah, we can at least see the chats here. We got Jacob was looking to make a move up into the first round, but unfortunately he's a no trade mock. So unable to do that. It's especially bad about the Rams, as we already mentioned, have no first or second round picks. So they're just kind of watching for this one.
I see Jacob here controlling Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
He said he wanted to be the Lions. Don't worry, I got us. Don't worry, I'll make some good picks for us, Jacob.
Yes, and this is such a fast pick, so looking at Jacob's, he's wants everyone to go quick. This is such a fast pick, so we should be good.
Ooh, we got a take command from Chase controlling the Washington Commanders here. I like that.
He's got the commies. He's ready to go. All right, let's talk a little bit more about these picks. I want to talk more about these late round guys here, because who do you think is going to be a real star at the combine?
Oh man. I think a guy that's going to turn some heads is I think that Quay Walker out of Georgia is going to test fairly well. I think we have him in like a 4th round, 5th round kind of range right now, but I've seen some mocks had him go as high as 2nd, and I think Jeremiah might have had him in the 1st round, and I think that's
Jeremiah always kind of keeps it a little. He'll go wherever he wants with it. Here he is down here. We got him at 173, ADP 166. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of guys. I feel like there's always some names that you don't know about. Oh
yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I picked a player off the national championship team. Not much of a sleeper there.
I mean, that's fair, but I mean, I feel like picking anyone in that front 7 other than Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean. I mean, probably all those guys are going to get drafted from that national championship game front 7.
Yeah. I mean, another guy that's rising up draft boards, and we still have him down at 214, is Christian Watson. He's seeming like a surefire day 2 prospect right now.
Right, dominated the Senior Bowl. He kind of feels like a lower profile Denzel Mims at this point to me. He just kind of dominated the Senior Bowl. He's got that high point ability. I'm really gonna be curious what he runs, because like Denzel Mims, he didn't look like a speedster. So I'll be curious. But Mims ran pretty good. But once again, he hasn't really shown it. So I'll be really curious what Watson is able to do. Sometimes that Senior Bowl star does not always translate to an NFL star.
Just think of, I remember Doris Fountain, I think was in the, I think he was in the Senior Bowl, the Shrine Bowl when he came out, and he blew it up. And he's stuck
around, which is surprising for a player from as small a school as he was.
Yeah.
I don't remember where he's from now. Like Northern Illinois, maybe something like that. I don't remember where he's from. I gotta look it up.
Why do I think it was Eastern Carolina? I could be wrong. I'm feeling like
it definitely has a direction in it. Is what we found out.
What's that?
I said it definitely has a direction in it. That's what we found out.
Right.
Northern Iowa. I was so close.
Oh, purple and yellow. So yeah, I got the colors.
I had the North, and I had the right letter. I was just in the wrong Indiana, Illinois, Iowa. I was the wrong eye. All right. Well, we're starting off here. We have Kalen with the Jaguars making their first pick. It's generally been like a 2 or 3 horse race or 2 or 3 position race, more like it. Just kind of depends on whatever flavor of the week they're going with. So we'll see where Kalen goes with this. We'll get some quick commentary in between in between the picks while we can. But right now, see, this is our fast stream, so you don't have to spend too long trying to wait for other people to make picks so they don't show up, which unfortunately does happen. And hopefully we get a pick here from Kalen, and we can see who they pick. But if not, they'll make a computer pick in the first 20 seconds, in the next 20 seconds here, and we'll talk about
Hopefully
it like they actually made it.
Hopefully he set his queue with a bunch of great players.
That's true. You could set your queue just like what I always fantasy draft. And maybe Aiden Hutchinson will fall to 31. Here we go. Pick is in. Pick is in. Who do we got?
Derek
Stingley.
Well, maybe he had.
Well, that's different. That's different here. I'm going to give it. I'm not a fan. I don't like Derek Stingley that much in the top 5. And for a team with so many needs, I do not agree with that over much better prospects. I'd even take Kyle Hamilton over Derek Stingley pretty comfortably for the Jaguars. And you're up next.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think that this is an obvious case of forgetting that you're drafting tonight. But yeah, Derek Stingley, not a guy that you'd think about as number 1 overall.
I'd either you got to go with either the guy to protect the passer or the guy to rush the passer here at the first pick, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's what we're gonna do here. Is it's making my choice easy here. I'm going to go with the number 1 player on the board. We're going to go with Aiden Hutchinson here for the Lions. Sure, my Lions
you don't really care about protecting the quarterback when the quarterback's Jared Goff, so that makes it even easier. All right, you got to love it. You got to love the hometown Michigan boy going to the Detroit Lions.
That's right.
It's always nice when guys get to go to their hometown. We got Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. He's a hometown boy. He went to Ohio State until they kicked him to the curb for a pretty good season from Dwayne Haskins. It's not sugarcoated. All right. On to the Texans. Do you have anything you want to say about your pick before they make their pick?
I think that this is just the pick that everyone's expecting. I think that if he's there at 2, that's the guy who's going to be the name. They could go in a completely different direction. I had a couple other guys on my queue that I was definitely thinking about selecting there, but Hutchinson's just too good to pass up. I think that he's big, physical, high motor, just the kind of guy that you want to set the edge.
He's on Feldman's freaks list too, so people always think that he's not that athletic, but Feldman's normally pretty good at those, so that he should test pretty well.
See the Texans got here.
Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't think you can really go wrong with the Texans at this point because they kind of just need everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're just a bad team, if I can be brutally honest for a second here. I could see maybe trying to protect Davis Mills a little bit more, get some more offensive linemen, but they just need talent overall. And if they think Thibodeau's that guy, then I think that that's a perfectly reasonable pick.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that he's a number 1 player on lots of people's boards. I've said it every stream, I think, but he's just like that freak athlete that you want on the edge. Like he's got the bend, he's got the athleticism. No problem with Houston taking him here. I think that they're definitely a team that's struggling for a direction, and that's a solid base to
all right.
build
now
around.
Jets coming on. I feel like we're feeling an O-line pick coming up here.
That would be smart for them. Maybe Hamilton, though.
Maybe Hamilton. I think we're going to see O-line. Nope.
Is it going to go through now?
Yeah. I'm just going to refresh the page real quick. Some minor technical issues.
Interesting. Never seen that one before.
No.
Oh, here we go. There it goes.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Short technical issues. The pick is in. So there we go. They select. Was that on your screen too, or is that just mine?
Yeah, no.
Evan,
I'm sure it was on my screen as well. So
okay.
They had a little bit extra time to make their pick. Good pick. So Evan Neal. I mean, some people have him go number 1.
Oh, Giants make their
Giants
pick.
with a quick pick.
They do not give us any time to talk about it. Evan Neal's great. Ken McQuanu, also great as well. They're both great picks. I'm not going to knock either of them. They both need offensive linemen. They both get the top 2 in the draft, I would say.
No doubt. I think that if Ike Ekwonu is there at the Giants pick, I think
they're
that
not giving us any time for commentary now.
Fast.
Panthers
here with another pick. Kyle Hamilton, I love that.
I mean, I love it, but are they really going to go into another season? Sam Darnold as their starting quarterback? But I love it. It's great. He's a great talent. Putting Hamilton with Jeremy Chin, that's just 2 freakish giant athletes. How do you even pass? You can't do anything. You know, I reloaded the chat words. No, my chat just doesn't work. I'm doing too much stuff on my computer. It's a piece of crap. All right, and the Giants selecting again Tyler Linderbaum. Really just building that offensive line. That's all they're doing in this draft, which, you know, if you want to give Daniel Jones the best chance to succeed, I totally understand that.
I respect it. I mean,
you know, if Daniel Jones
revitalize Saquon,
if Daniel Jones still stinks, then they got the offensive line for the next quarterback next year.
Yeah, that as well.
All right, we got the Falcons pick in. We're moving along now. We're moving right along. All right, Falcons are taking George Karlaftis. Did you see those reports recently? I saw some reports that were saying that he may be a bit of a faller come draft day. Some were saying that the NFL may not like him as much as draft media. Maybe seen as more of a mid to late second round guy, I saw.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that reflected on mock drafts done here and you know, around the league, around the community. We got another quick pick from Denver here.
Yeah. David Ojabo. We've given them David Ojabo like 2 or 3 times.
Someone's just been watching the streams.
Give them that freakish athlete at defensive end. I think he's going to test really well at the combine. I think he's a little stiff, and you know, but you're not going to get another Von Miller, especially not at pick 9. You're not getting another Von Miller again at pick 9. I don't know when we're going to get another Von Miller. It could be years.
Yeah, I've said it before, but David Ojabo is one of my favorite fits for Denver. I think that, you know, we talked about it with Von Miller replacing what he brings, but I think he's the right kind of guy to put in there.
All right, now we have Evan Lai up with the Jets. They ran the timer out last time, so they may not be here, but they still made a good pick, their first pick. So we'll see what they end up here. Oh, they broke it last time. They may have broken it again.
Jets just get a little bit.
All right, we're good.
They need it.
All right, and who they got? Ahmad Gardner. You know, I've seen him rising up boards recently.
Yeah, I dig that pick.
Flying up boards. I think, once again, this really is going to depend on how he tests, because he's a big guy. If he can test real well, then I could see him going above Derek Stingley, even who really is a very thin frame.
At that pick right there, if Stingley's on the board too, do you hesitate taking Sauce?
I would take Sauce over Stingley.
All right.
Unless he tests really poorly. That'd be the one thing that throws me off. Unless he tests average or poor, then I might consider Stingley over him. But even then, I might consider other cornerbacks over Stingley. I just don't like how he struggles with physicality.
Right.
And his tape was when someone peaks as a freshman, that concerns me. I know he had some injuries, but still concerning. We just had Chase there, pick quarterback Malik Willis. You know, you can't really knock him for taking a quarterback. The commies need a quarterback.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick for Washington. Getting the top QB off the board at the 11th pick is great. I think that Malik Willis is just that. He's the highest ceiling of any quarterback in this class, and he can do it with his arm and his feet. That's what you want nowadays.
Right. He's the most prototypical between him and Desmond Ridder of the modern day NFL quarterback. Malik Willis, obviously a little bigger arm. Both of them very athletic, can make plays in and out of the pocket. All right, on with the Vikings coming up here. They're walking with Andrew Booth Jr. Mike Zimmer may be gone, but they'll still take a cornerback every other year. And because they always need one somehow. But, you know, he's a good player. I think some people are going to make the case he's the best cornerback in the draft. And, I mean, I'm not a cornerback specialist, so I think I could understand that. You know, I would say a lot of times we don't see the best cornerback come off the board as the first one.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a first-round talent. I think he's got NFL length. I think they could go. He could go anywhere from top 10 to 30s, 40s.
Right. I think Andrew Booth. We got 2 picks back to back here. They were not hesitating. The Browns took Chris Olave. They had their pick of whatever receiver they wanted. The Ravens took an offensive tackle to replace Orlando Brown. I think we are flying now. Now we're gonna have 2 more picks back to back. I love Cross, great athlete, great pass protector. Now I got 2 Eagles picks coming up. We're just gonna do this rapid fire. Now I got Jermaine Johnson, edge for Florida State. Good pick. They really need some edge presence. They need some defensive linemen in general. And then finishing off this 4-pick run, we have coming up the Trayvon Watt. Okay, well, I wouldn't take 2 edges, but we lost Grant. Oh, let me bring him back. Grant's back again. We're good. Grant, we just had 4 picks all in a row, so we just kind of had a rapid fire through that. The Eagles took 2 edges. How do you feel about doubling down on a position in the first round?
I just noticed that. I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, we got.
It definitely looks like to me with their 3 picks in the teams that it's just like, hey, throw them, do what you got to do. As for the players, though, I do like those players. I think Jermaine Johnson.
I like the players. Honestly, I would rather they went with DeMarvin Leal for one of those picks. Get a guy who's a little more versatile, as an inside-outside kind of guy.
And here
there's
he goes.
Leal.
Right now.
That's a great pick for the Chargers. They really need that defensive lineman, some defensive lineman presence. The Saints have their pick of the receivers other than Chris Olave. Everyone else is still here. Jameson Williams, Garrett Wilson. I would say that's their biggest need.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that their quarterback is Taysom Hill. But are they really in a position to draft one? We still have our top 2 linebackers. I think Garrett Wilson just disappeared, so I think the pick has been spoiled. It's Garrett Wilson. That's a great pick. Replace your Ohio State diva receiver with Ohio State, maybe not diva receiver. I'm very
quick pick from the Eagles too.
Well, the Eagles have not been messing around. This is gonna be another edge. No, Devin Lloyd. They're still sticking with the front 7 though. I mean, that's a good pick though. I probably would just swap one of those edges out. Is what I would have done. But because they need some help on the offense too. You can't just have the Devonta Smith show when the quarterback is Jalen Hurts.
Super surprised they wouldn't get a guy like Traylon Burks with one of those 3 picks there. Passed on him.
And they need some offensive linemen too. They really could. I would have traded out one of those edge picks, but it's how it is. Nakobe Dean for the Steelers avoiding quarterback. That's probably a solid pickup. Add their front 7 once again. It's a very front 7 heavy recently. It's a lot, like 5 of our last 6 picks, although 3 of those were the Eagles. So
our main man Tim with the Steelers pick there. I think it was pretty good. I think most drafts have him going offensive tackle, but Nakobe Dean sitting there at 20 is way too good to pass up.
Traylon Burks. I don't know how much I love Traylon Burks' fit with Mac Jones.
I think he'll provide something in the red zone at least. I mean, I understand. You want a quarterback that can utilize Traylon Burks' ability to separate, but it's hard to say.
Now we have the Las Vegas Raiders selecting Drake London. So I have Jameson Williams on the board.
Yeah.
So still another good wide receiver left.
That's surprising.
Sometimes people shy away from those injured guys. And the Cardinals have picked Trent McDuffie, a cornerback. That's a team that kind of is in a weird position because it seems like they are simultaneously like one good signing and pick away from competing while also being like an entire half a team away. It's just a very weirdly structured team.
And also with the rumors surrounding Kyler Murray possibly being available for trade, who knows? Who knows what's going on?
Right. Who do we have picking? That was Wyatt. Now we have Joe picking. He did put out that letter today basically saying, pay me. But I don't know if I feel comfortable. If he's looking for like $40 million a year, maybe even more, I don't know how I'm feeling about that. Because I just don't think he's shown to be that consistent franchise guy. Oh, we lost Grant again. Sometimes I don't even notice. Grant, what's up with you?
It's ridiculous. Some in time for the Cowboys pick.
Nicholas Petit-Frere from I definitely said that wrong. The offensive tackle from Ohio State. I don't know if I see him in the first round very much. I don't hate it. I think he's a solid pickup, and sometimes we see these offensive linemen have a little bit of a run on them in the late first.
Yeah, I like Dallas going O-line in the first round too.
Over Kenyon Green, though. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I'm taking Kenyon Green over Frere for sure.
Bills left Jameson Williams. That's deadly. That's dangerous.
I like that
Jameson
one.
Williams with Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. They're never running the ball again in that situation.
Yeah, that'd be too nice. I love that fit. I don't know if I've seen that yet.
No, I don't know if I have either. But I feel like not very rarely do we see any of the top 4 receivers make it to the Bills pick at 25.
Right.
And Shark JH just had to jump on it. And we have Zach H up picking for the Titans. Pick is in. And we have Kenyon Green. Man, I was hoping he'd slip to 31, but I know it's never going to happen. Who knows? Maybe come draft day, he slips to 31. You never know where these interior offensive linemen are going to go in the draft. And now we have the Bucks selecting Jordan Davis. I don't like that. They already have Vita Vea. Why are they taking Jordan Davis?
Yeah, it's you definitely got your guy in Vita Vea. You got the all-around nose tackle with pass rushing ability. A little redundant with Davis there, but
I would say very. I don't know how you get those two guys on the field for more than 30% of the snaps. I mean, together, obviously. Really don't want them on the same field together ever, because those two guys get on the field, just throw it, because they don't get a ton of pass rush. And just the way it is, they're great run defenders, and I think you can make a case for taking Jordan Davis in the first round if you need that. But if you don't, if you already have that guy, I would avoid taking Jordan Davis for sure. And we have the Packers coming up. Christoph, it seems the recent buzz has been Aaron Rodgers might be sticking around. So that's really going to decide how this draft goes for him. And then we have their pick coming in. Let's see where they went with this one. What do you got, Christoph? Kenny Pickett. Wow. They're assuming that he's gone. And not only is he gone, they're not even going to give Jordan Love a chance. I mean, I don't agree with the pick. Maybe, just give Jordan Love like one chance. Because I don't think Kenny Pickett's much better. And is he going to be able to throw in that Wisconsin cold with his 7-inch hands? All right, on to the Dolphins.
I'm not sure I understand that. This pick, let me just say, Miami, I've seen Zion Johnson mocked them a whole bunch.
That kills me. I want the 31, man. Who am I supposed to take now? Trevor Penning? Yeah, of course I'm going to take Trevor Penning. Wait, I won't spoil it. I won't take
Wow. I'm surprised Penning has been this. That's a guy I see going top 15.
I could definitely see. How do you sort these offensive linemen? There's a lot here in the first round. Just that the NFL may have a slightly different agreement on how. Look, got a little heads up. Lets me know I'm on the clock. They took Cameron Thomas. They do need an edge because Frank Clark is awful. So that helps. I'll just give a little fire emoji, and then I'm gonna just run to the podium with Trevor Penning.
Man,
throw him in at offensive tackle. I'm excited. You're up now. You have 2 of the next 3 picks, so I hope you're ready. You don't get
there's a few guys here. I could definitely convince myself that they would take. We went edge with the first pick.
There's someone who I really like here.
There's a couple wide receivers here that I could see them go with. But I'm going to stick on the defensive side of the ball. We have Jaquan Brisker here as our top-rated safety, but I'm going to go with another guy who I mentioned at the beginning of the draft, at the beginning of our stream. I'm going to go with Jalen Petrie here in the first round.
Wow.
I think that's a little unorthodox normally, but I think that this guy is he's all over the field, and I think that the Lions need more playmakers, and this is what that guy is.
Safeties are always late risers. Because when you're looking at tape, we talked about this last week with our guest last week. You really got to watch safeties because most people don't get the all 22. You can get a little bit, but you're not seeing a ton of all 22 for these safeties. That's the only way you can really evaluate them. It's so hard to evaluate safeties on broadcast footage because you only see them on maybe a quarter of the plays. And that's on the plays where they're normally either not having much of an effect or they're just cleaning up in the run.
Petrie Petrie
So
spent
we
a
always
lot
have
of
these
time
late
in
risers at
box,
safety.
so a little bit more film to evaluate for him. But
Right. I mean, we had Terrell Edmonds coming from the first
nothing but good
round.
things about him.
I remember that was a really surprising pick. Who is this? Keanu Neal was someone that I feel like no one really saw coming in the first round until he got invited to the draft. And then it's like, well, he's probably going in the first round. And now we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think this is another auto pick, taking Devontae Wyatt, D-line from Georgia. I mean, they need some talent. I think they got two probably good players, but they need to protect Trevor Lawrence. They need to get some stuff for Trevor Lawrence. So I wouldn't go this way for them. But you're up now again. You still have some options.
This will be my final pick for the Lions of the stream here.
You want to triple down on defense? That seems like something Dan Campbell would do.
There's a couple guys I just don't see him passing up here because I really wanted to go receiver with this pick, and there's a lot of good ones available. But I'm sitting.
You only have 8 seconds.
Kaiir Elam is staring.
Kaiir Elam, I would take him. Go ahead.
I think that he's a surefire first-round pick at corner. I think that the Lions, they got Jeff Okudah, so the jury's still out on what he's going to be. But if you can get a guy like Kaiir Elam with your 4th pick in the draft. Or I'm sorry, your 3rd pick in the draft. I think that's a good deal.
Yeah, you're not the Eagles. Calm down with that. All right, Trey McBride. That's quite early, but
I like the fit with the Jets.
I do. They need weapons for Zach Wilson, but I feel like since their main weapon is already such a middle of the field guy in Elijah McGuire, that I don't know how much I love that pick. I would try and get more. And more of an outside guy to pair up with what they already have. On to the Giants. We have El Diablo making the pick for the Giants. They went all offensive line in the first round. So they're going to continue supporting Daniel Jones. Or are they going to make a pick? We'll see here in 3 seconds. They did make the pick. And are they going to be supporting Daniel Jones or trying to get that defense fixed up a bit? And Arnold Ebiketie. I do love Arnold Ebiketie here. I feel like he's going to be someone who's always in the first round of mocks after the combine. He's a Penn State guy. And if he's a Penn State guy, he's going to blow up the combine.
Yeah, that's right. I definitely see him as a fringe first-round guy. Some guy that can squeak his way in. Possibly the Chiefs there at 30.
Mm-hmm. I think he'll end up going above them. I think we might see some of these other edge guys that got taken in the first round drop out a little bit further. Or drop back a little bit further, maybe out of the first round. And so these guys who test really well rise up into it. But back to the Texans. They made a decent first-round pick. Thibodeau, I guess there really is no bad first-round pick for the Texans unless they pick someone who's just not that good. They just need talent, so just pick the best player available, and they should be good to go. Jaquan Brisker still sitting here as our 23rd ranked player. I don't think they could go wrong. We still have Sam Howell. We still have a lot of quarterbacks in here they could take if they wanted to go that route. And they went with Sam Howell, our top-ranked player left. I think that's good, Try and fix up that quarterback. I don't think Davis Mills, despite having a decent rookie season, is that long-term answer. And the Jets. What do you give your thoughts on this Jets pick?
Oh, love it.
There's that outside wide receiver. I was just talking
That's
about.
The guy.
They waited.
That's your speedster.
I don't know if he's a super speedster, but I think he's a solid wide receiver. He's a solid 1A to 1B to Elijah McGuire's 1A. Jalen Tolbert. I don't know how much I love Jalen Tolbert here, but he's really been rising up in the process, which happens a lot of these small school guys. We're going rapid fire again. All right, you do the Broncos. Give your thoughts.
All right, Broncos. We got Matt Corral. We thought that maybe Aaron Rodgers would be coming here. He's not staying in Green Bay, and it looks like he's not going to Denver either. So it's up in the air for Aaron Rodgers. I think Matt Corral is a good playmaker. He can get it done with his feet. He can get it done with his arm. But still, a
lot of questions. I hope they build that entire offense around RPOs because that's all he did. Oh, Kyler Gordon, a very Seattle cornerback, and it doesn't have to go very far.
Yeah, I think Kyler Gordon's definitely just like that big, lengthy, athletic guy.
Yes, I'm sure that I forgot Pete's last name. Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Jeez. Will just love getting if he could get Kyler Gordon there in the second round.
Yeah, I
And
think
Washington.
Seattle definitely be looking maybe DB or offensive line with that pick.
We're seeing quite a run on cornerbacks here, 2 in a row.
Dax Hill.
We had another one go earlier in the second round. And now we have the Falcons coming up. Yeah, you took Elam, and then we had a little bit of break when Kyler Gordon, Daxton Hill started a run here. So let's see, AJJ. They already have, my gosh, my brain is not working right now. They already have AJ Terrell. I got it. I knew it was AJ.
Right.
Couldn't remember his last name. So do they probably won't go cornerback here. They kind of need a lot. Might go wide receiver, might go offensive of might go defensive line. Travis Jones from Connecticut. They kind of need. There's a lot of fire emojis. Kind of need a little bit of everything there over at the Falcons. A little bit of a mess, but that division is about as wide open as any I've ever seen. And Matt Ryan, with the retirement of Tom Brady, quickly became the best quarterback in that division when his competition is Taysom Hill, Sam Darnold, and Kyle Trask. And now their cornerback, there you go. They're keeping it going. Roger McCreary. Some concerns about his arm length, so that'll be interesting going into the combine here. All right, you got the Ravens here.
All right, Ravens pick is in here with a quick one. They went O-line in the first round with Charles Cross. Kingsley Enagbare. Big, lanky, edge rushing linebacker. He's got long arms, knows how to use them. Good pick for them here.
They do always get those guys who end up really productive, and then they end up being too good, and they have to let them walk. So maybe just another one for them there. So that one we had there was DJ. We have Mr. Textbook coming up in the first round. They took, let's get up here. Wait, where are the Vikings? Do the Vikings have a first round pick? Am I crazy? Am I missing it? No, they're there. I missed it. Andrew Booth. Thank you. My brain. Right. They took Andrew Booth, so probably not another cornerback. Jaquan Brisker still sitting here. I'm just begging someone to take Jaquan Brisker. I feel like this has to be Jaquan Brisker, right? Because it seems like the auto pick, so it'll probably be him since he's so much ranked higher.
Yeah.
Alec Lindstrom.
Yeah. All right.
That's a good pick.
I mentioned Lindstrom as a name that could go up here. I think we have him in like the 4th round range right now on our system, but he's a guy that I could see going in the 2nd round.
Yeah. Is he related to Chris Lindstrom? Didn't he also go to Boston?
I believe so. They're both BC boys.
Right. They're both BC boys. They got the same last names. They both play offensive line. They have to be related.
Gotta be.
I haven't looked into that yet. Don't have all the relationships down in my mind. We have Steven here coming up with the Colts. I'm assuming the Colts. I need to remember who has a first round. Some people, they don't have a first round pick. They trade it to the Eagles for Carson Wentz. This is their first pick of the draft. And looks like we may not have a pick here by Steven, unfortunately. That's probably pretty common. We have to wait till the 2nd round, but that's the way it goes.
Maybe they can get him.
Maybe this will finally be Jaquan Brisker. We've just been waiting and waiting for him. This will be an absolute steal if it is. David Bell.
Okay. That's another steal,
okay.
Though.
He's a good prospect. He's just kind of a solid receiver. Pair him with Michael Pittman. Who even knows who their quarterback is going to be, though? That will be interesting.
Right. I think they could have easily went Ritter right there if they
could have
looking to move on from Wentz.
I feel like we're looking at we got the Saints coming up at 17 round 2, and if they don't take Ritter, then I feel like the Steelers kind of have to.
Yeah.
That's a great value for them to get a potential starting quarterback here in the 2nd round. And generally, if a quarterback falls to the 2nd round, odds are not good that he's going to end up being a good quarterback. But he's kind of a Steelers guy, if you know what I mean. He kind of has that Steelers quarterback feel. Although he did go to Cincinnati, so I feel kind of betrayed.
Too.
And Chargers pick is in. They ran out all the time, so maybe an auto pick. Let's see what they got. There's Jahan Dotson. They do need a wide receiver. because Mike Williams is a free agent. Even if he's not, Keenan Allen's getting up there in age. They could use another guy to pair with those two, even if both of them stay. So, I like the pick. I like seeing it. It's a good fit for what they need overall, I would say. He's got, even if they keep Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, he kind of adds a different element than what those two have.
Yeah, I think that his play is, I think that him and Mike Williams would complement each other very well. I think that he could be looked at as a potential replacement for Keenan Allen down the road. I think that he can be that route running, just like easy target, one of those reliable guys. There's Brisker.
There's Jaquan Brisker. Saints kind of just need a little bit of everything. So sure. Once again, another team just needs a little bit of everything. We got the Texans, Saints just kind of in a nightmare situation right now. Dolphins pick is in.
Quick one for the Dolphins.
Yep. Love seeing it. And then we got another quick pick here after the Dolphins. They took Bernhard Raimann. He's the one who could be in the first round. I think
that could be their first round pick, to be honest.
I wouldn't be surprised. And the Eagles, they have not hesitated at all tonight. They picked Martin Emerson, cornerback from Mississippi State. All right.
Yeah, definitely they're going all guy at corner there. I don't see him going until probably later third round. I think we have him at in the 50s or 60s in our rankings right now. But definitely, I would say earlier to later third round.
I would definitely say they should need to go some offense there in the first 2 rounds. Can't go all defense. Not when your quarterback's Jalen Hurts. They need to give him a little more support. They just kind of have a few. They're probably good at running back. They could really use pretty much every other, and they're good at starting tight end. But other than that, they really need to address most of their offensive positions.
You had George Pickens and Justin Ross both sitting there. I think those both could have easily been a good pick for the Eagles.
Right. And Steelers do avoid taking the quarterback there, Tim. As he does, but I don't know how I feel about that. You're really assuming that they have to get someone else in, because I would really hate to see Mason Rudolph start a season of games for a team. That would just be brutal.
Yeah, I would definitely like Steelers to take a quarterback early on in the draft, but I think that offensive tackle is still probably their number one need. I think that Darian Kinnard is a guy that shows positional versatility across the line, and he's a guy that I think that could creep on the first round if he tests well. But I think it's a good pick in the second round for Steelers.
It's a good pick. They just definitely need a quarterback. But as a Bengals fan, I'd love to see them start Mason Rudolph for an entire season. Perrion Winfrey, D-line from Oklahoma. They have a decent defensive line already, so that just really adds to the riches. Then we got a quick pick in from the Patriots, coming in with Christian Harris. All right, I like it.
Big man in the middle of the field for Alabama.
Mm-hmm. They love those Alabama players in New England. Cardinals like Breece Hall.
Ooh, first running back off the board.
I do love Breece Hall in that Arizona offense. I think that could be really fun.
I think he's definitely the most complete back in this draft.
I think he's just the best all around back in the draft. I really like Breece Hall. It'll be interesting to see where these running backs end up, because so much about how they perform is situational. And I think that the Cardinals is a good situation. Overall, they have a decent line. Kyler Murray being a running threat himself will kind of open up holes for the running back. And they are really a wide open spread offense. So I think will fit really well with Breece Hall. And we have the Cowboys coming up here. You do this one. You got the Cowboys here.
All right. Let's see who they get. Went O-line with their first pick.
Mm-hmm.
Myjai Sanders. I think that he was a guy that I liked a lot in last year's draft process, and he's been relatively productive throughout his college career at Cincinnati. I think it's a good pick for them.
Yeah, they can. I think this really heavily depends on if they lose Randy Gregory, because if they do lose him, I feel like they have as much of an edge need as an interior. But if they keep him, they really have more of an interior need. So that would be interesting to see.
So Patrick, give me a few guys on the board right now who you think probably should not be there.
I mean, I would say these well, especially Ritter. I could definitely see Zap still being here. But, I mean, I think Zap shouldn't be there. I think Ritter wouldn't be there. So those would be my top two guys, obviously. I feel like sometimes teams are afraid to take quarterbacks, or fans are afraid to take quarterbacks in these mock drafts. It's just more fun not to. Here's a guy that I mentioned earlier as someone who we have low who could end up rising up, and Boy Mafe. And I think we definitely will have him rising up after the combine because I think he's going to dominate. Falcons coming again quick.
Get ready for this one.
Desmond Ritter. There we go. Maybe taking a potential quarterback of the future behind Matt Ryan. I kind of love it.
Yeah, I like that fit. I like that fit a lot. I think that Ritter would honestly he's like a shiftier Matt Ryan. Now that I'm thinking about it.
I like it a lot. I think that giving him a year or two to kind of season and then come on and hopefully have a nice offensive line, some good wide receivers already in place. Is a great situation. George Pickens obviously should probably still not be here still. I think we've done a pretty good job of getting most of the guys who really shouldn't still be here. Still some good players on the board, but no one that I could really say other than George Pickens, which also George Pickens has some, character, I don't want to say character concerns, but maybe some attitude concerns from his time at Georgia.
And coming off an injury in a not so productive year.
There's a lot of question marks there.
A guy I would say, though, is Logan Hall. I think that's a defensive lineman. I see it a lot like, Feridian Mathis and a couple other D linemen go. I think that Logan Hall is, after Jordan Davis and Leal, he's the next guy.
He's very good. I like him a lot. I could see him falling a little bit, but a lot of it depends on the way the draft falls, where those other defensive linemen go. Now we have another running back going, Kenneth Walker.
Our second running back, going before Spiller.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, me too.
We have the 49ers selecting Kobe Bryant, cornerback from Cincinnati. A little rich, maybe, a little bit rich. But, we've had a lot of cornerbacks go. Teams might be a little scared of who's still on the board there. All right, Chiefs, they are selecting George Pickens. What a fit. They love those character concern guys, the Chiefs do. So we'll see how that goes for them. They took, a couple years ago, there's a guy from Florida. What was his name? He was on the team still. Demarcus Robinson had a lot of character concerns. Ended up working out generally pretty well for him. I'm on the board with Cincinnati. They have quite a few needs. And in the first round, we actually ended up getting an offensive tackle. And I don't want to take another one. And I don't love the interior guys. Cade Mays is fine. But I don't want to go there. I'm going to go with someone that you just mentioned. I want to take Logan Hall. They really could use an interior pass rushing presence. And Logan Hall here at the end of the second is a great value.
I think that so far, Patrick, I got to say, I think that your draft is looking like the highest value draft amongst everyone here. I think Trevor Penning and Logan Hall for Bengals, with those late picks would be great. Like, you can't ask for much better. Here's our last pick.
The draft is over. Finishing up with the Broncos. Chad Mumma, linebacker from Wyoming. I literally talked about him. I said, this is a guy who may sneak in at our 2 rounds here. He's a good player. He's athletic. He can move. We still got quite a few guys on board. We'll touch on here as we finish up. So let's go ahead and let's just take a look at what we think of. We'll go ahead and we'll go through the guys up to 64. So we got and we'll talk about why we think they may have fell a little bit, see what we think of them, and then we'll go to team by team real quick. Just a minute, like 30 seconds on each team. Sound good?
All right, sounds good to me.
All right, we got Bailey Zapp. He's a great. I think he's a good quarterback, but he's a little athletically limited, coming from a wide open scheme. Only 1 year of starting experience in the FBS. I can see why he might fall. He's not exciting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel his role will most likely be I see Zapp having a long NFL career, but probably as a backup, as a game managing kind of mix-up kind of guy. I think that he could definitely, in this next few picks here, I could see him being a third-round guy. I think the Lions, if they don't address quarterback in the first 2 rounds and Zapp's in there in the third, I think they could easily think about that.
Right. I would love for him to go to a place that gives him a chance to start, but you're right. He may end up being a career backup kind of guy. Lots of question marks about him. Falale he's just an okay player. Is the biggest thing about him is his size. He's just huge. And I think that if we see him test, people are kind of scared of how he's going to test. Which we're talking a lot about the combine. It's coming up. It's huge in terms of the draft. I think some people are thinking he's going to test like an Orlando Brown, and from what I've heard, that's not going to be the case.
Okay.
So that'll be interesting. That'll really decide where he ends up. Drake Jackson. He's 54. He's our 54th overall player. His ADP is 37. That's quite the fall for him.
Yeah, he was at the beginning of the year. He was one of our top 10 guys. He's still, I think he's still probably a top 75 player, but definitely fallen.
Isaiah Spiller, just running backs, they fall. He's a pretty big guy. Some people don't really love. Not super exciting to have the guys who's not a home run hitter. Jalen Wiedermeyer, he wasn't that productive in college. He's not that exciting. I feel like that's what happens a lot with these user mocks is the guys who aren't exciting end up falling out a little bit.
I think that a guy could have probably been drafted in these first two rounds is Isaiah Likely. Mm-hmm. I think that even he could have been the first tight end selected. I think that we had mentioned that last show with our wonderful guest. But yeah, I think that that's a guy you're talking about, like the exciting, flashy guy. He's definitely a guy that turns some heads.
Right. Carson Strong, we had a pretty good run on quarterbacks, but Carson Strong is kind of divisive. So I can see why he would fall a little bit. Just kind of the pocket passer, a lot of injury concerns, and then Jamari Salyer. I had a chance to take him there at the end of the second, but just went with Logan Hall, and then he just didn't make it in. He's right on the edge there of the two rounds, though. All right, now let's go a little bit team by team. How's that sound?
All right, yeah, it sounds great.
We'll do it quick. All right. The Cardinals, Trent McDuffie, Breece Hall. I really like these two picks. I think they're a great fit for the Cardinals. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think that Trent McDuffie is looked at as a first-round guy. I think that adding Breece Hall to their offense sounds fantastic. Mm-hmm. See if it works out in the end, but
right, they also already have a lot of running backs that in that room, so may not be the best use of resources. Now we have the Falcons. They had 3 picks. George Karlaftis, a little rich in the top 10, honestly. For me, Travis Jones, really building that defensive line. I like Travis Jones there a little bit. Don't love it, but it's solid. On the Desmond Ridder, which I love that pick there at the end of the second round. It's a great value, great situation for him.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with your analysis there. I think Ritter's awesome there. I like that fit a lot. We should have been Jones as well. I think that they could have went with Logan Hall right there. That would have made this draft class a bit better. And then same with Karlaftis. I think that they definitely need to adjust edge rusher early. But Karlaftis at in the top 10 is starting to seem like it's not going to happen.
Yeah. All right. We should have been alternating. So you're going to take the next two. Ravens, quick thoughts.
Yeah, I think Charles Cross is, at the end of the day, a top 10, maybe even a top 5 player in this draft. So getting a big need opposite Ronnie Stanley, offensive tackle there. And then I talked about Kingsley during the draft. I think that he's just long arms, athletic, and just a versatile edge rusher.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're both great fits. It seems like the kind of thing that the Ravens would do. All right, you're on with the Bills.
The Bills, yeah, we talked about how we both loved that Jameson Williams pick for them. I think that they're getting them a solid starter opposite Stephon Diggs. A player that wouldn't be there without injury, And then we talked about Boye Mafe as well. And I haven't watched that much. I know he's a big athletic man. I know that his hand usage is relatively polished. It needs work. His pass rush arsenal probably needs work, but his hand usage is well above where it needs to be.
Right, and I think that taking an athletic guy who has a little room to grow in the mid-second round is right where you should go. It's a great pick. I'll take the Panthers here. They only had 1 pick. Texas kid picked Kyle Hamilton. Pass on quarterback is a questionable decision, but Kyle Hamilton's a great player. Pick him at 6. that's a great pick for their secondary. Really improves them. So I love it. Your thoughts, and then on to the next team.
I think, yeah, Kyle Hamilton is another guy he's a top 3 player in this class, and I think that anywhere outside of the top 5, you could see any team take him. I think he's just a defensive cog.
And you're up with the Bears.
With the Bears, yeah, they went receiver with their pick. I mean, they're probably going to be losing Allen Robinson in free agency. They have Darnell Mooney. I think that he's a solid receiver, but I think that Tolbert is a guy that another guy that could potentially sniff the first round if he tests well in the combine. I know that people like him. He's a really gifted route runner.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a little rich to me, but
Yeah.
But once again, it's one of those things where wide receiver, it's so dependent on how they test. The Bengals, I'll take this one. Trevor Penning is someone who really could step in right away at right tackle, which they'll need. Jonah Williams on the other side. It's a great fit. And hopefully they fix it in this situation. They fix the interior in free agency a little bit. We got Logan Hall, which they really could use, another interior pass rusher kind of guy. DJ Reader is a great run presence. BJ Hill is also really good in the run, a little more in the pass than DJ Reader. But Logan Hall would be a guy that they could put in on passing downs for sure, and he could get some pressure.
Yeah, definitely a A+ draft for the Bengals there.
All right, you're on with the Browns.
I think this is another A+ draft here. I think getting Chris Olave at pick 13. I think that's good. They took him over. That was the first receiver to go, I believe, in this draft.
It was, yep.
And then you're getting another guy in Roger McCreary, who's our 30th ranked player on the board. I think that he's could easily be taken in the first round. And, they keep drafting corners. They got to get a guy opposite Denzel Ward.
My only concern would be having McCreary and Ward across each other, both on the smaller side. Especially McCreary has very short arms. Ward struggles with size. That'd be my only concern. But both good players. And then Dallas just attacking the edge on both sides, offensive tackle first. I might have gone with Trevor Penning over the Ohio State offensive tackle. But he's a good player. Myjai Sanders, also a good player. If they lose Randy Gregory, really helps fill a need.
Yeah, I think that they definitely need to address the front seven in any way they can. The picks may not have been who I wanted them to take, but they did address their needs.
Mm-hmm. But they've done that a couple times. They took Taco Charlton over T.J. Watt, which was a disaster. So
yeah, that's a shame. Another Michigan guy though, David Ojabo. We talked about this fit. Like that fit a lot. We don't know what they're going to do at quarterback, but if they end up not winning the Rodgers sweepstakes, getting a guy like Matt Corral to potentially learn behind Teddy Bridgewater for a season might be the way to go. Chad Muma is a guy I was doing mock drafts before we started just to get an idea of who people are going to take. I had Chad Muma going to the Broncos at that pick, I believe.
There you go.
I think that it's a good fit for them. He's a rangy sideline to sideline player.
Yeah, just really added that front seven with the first and third pick, and then Matt Corral just kind of giving them that potential quarterback there. And here I am going to critique your draft. Aiden Hutchinson, great pick, hometown guy. Jalen Petre is, he seems the kind of guy that the Lions brass might love, kind of that box safety, versatile guy. And then you finish off with some more defensive care. Elam, I love him. I think he's definitely going to go in the first round. But if he's sitting there at the second pick at round 2, I think you got to run with him all the way to the podium.
Yeah, it feels weird not having a receiver in those first 3 picks, let me tell you. But, George Pickens was almost making it to their pick there in the 3rd round. And, shoot, Logan Hall almost made it there. I might have had to go defense 4 times in a row.
We can look and see what wide receivers are still here. We got Justin Ross, Sky Moore, Calvin Austin. Oops, wait, I lost it here.
Sky Moore's still there.
Yeah, lots of good wide receivers
Wan'Dale
still
Robinson. There. All guys.
Wan'Dale Robinson, Justin Ross, Alec Pierce, Sky Moore, Reggie Robertson, Wan'Dale Robinson, Dubs, Kyle Phillips. You got a lot of interesting guys there still. And once again, Kirsten Watson. A lot of it
Watson
depends
could be the guy,
on the
too.
combine. Might see some of these guys who maybe are like down here run a 4.4 at 6'2", 236, and then they're sniffing the second round. Just the way it is. Moving on, we won't be here all night. Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, Packers.
Go ahead.
Yeah, with the not giving Jordan Love a chance, and with this draft taking another first-round quarterback, I'm not sure that I agree with the decision.
No,
I feel
hate that.
like
Really hate that.
ceiling-wise, I feel like Pickett and Jordan Love probably around the same. So you're basically
I would disagree with that. I'd say Love's a lot higher ceiling, a lot better tools.
okay. Yeah, I think if you're losing Rodgers and you don't think Love's the guy, and you think that Pickett's the guy, then go for it. It doesn't seem like a smart move for me. Brandon Smith at linebacker, I'm not extremely.
I think it's worth talking
but
about
we
that first
about
round
our
pick.
State guys, so.
I don't think we're talking about after that first round pick. We'll move on to the Texans. I could see this draft working out like this, but I think they're going to give Davis Mills a chance if they don't, try and sign someone more proven. I don't think they'll take quarterback in the first or second round. I think they'll just give Davis Mills a chance, just go best talent available for this draft. But if they didn't, I think these two great value picks, as value as the third overall pick can be at least. But I like the draft overall.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that it's a big question with the quarterback. They're going to run with Davis Mills or not. I think if they don't want to, and Sam Howell's sitting there, he's a guy was arguably a surefire first round pick, now slipping outside into the second. So
you got the Colts here, one pick.
Colts picked up the balanced David Bell in the second round. I think that was that's a good pickup. I think he's a first round prospect. I think at the end of the day, he probably won't get drafted because he's in the first round because he's not as flashy. But I think I like that they're adding to their receiving core. If Wentz is your quarterback or not, I think that they definitely need some more receiving options.
Yeah, I think he's just a solid all-around kind of player, which they really just need that reliable target, whoever they have at quarterback. Jaguars had probably the worst draft, if I can be brutally honest. Once again, Kalen, I think just auto-drafted, and it picked Stingley and Devontae Wyatt. I mean, do you have anything to say about this? It's awesome.
Set your cue. That's what I got to say.
There you go. And then we have another Walk the Muck member, and Andrew made these picks, Cameron Thomas and George Pickett. Thoughts?
I think that Cameron Thomas is a guy that's fringe first round. At the end of the day, I don't think that he'll end up being in the first round. I think that they would want to take a guy that's a little bit with more athletic prowess, I would say. I think that George Pickens, though, that second pick is beautiful. I think that he's definitely a guy that can go in the first round. So getting him at 230 is great.
I don't think I'm going to go in the first round just because of those character concerns, but who knows? I love this Chargers draft. I always love the Chargers draft a lot of the time. DeMarvin Leal is a great pick. Really helps fill their offensive line, defensive line front. I keep saying the wrong one. And John Dotson, just a great fit with the wide receivers they have, whether they keep Mike Williams or not. Just gives Justin Herbert another weapon, maybe one who can catch some passes in the final drive of the game. Any thoughts on the Chargers? Or you can take the Rams draft. All right. You can also take the Raiders draft. Oh, are you here? Oh, we lost you again. I see you now. All right, you're back.
Now I'm back.
All right. You can just
we're on the Raiders.
The Rams. You're on the Raiders because the Rams somehow didn't have any picks.
No first or second round picks for the Rams. I guess it was worth it though, right?
They did get a Super Bowl. I would trade my first and second round picks for a Super Bowl right now.
Yeah, no doubt. I think Drake London is a guy that's rising up boards. I think that I would rather have Jameson Williams at that pick, and he was.
I don't love Drake London in the first round.
But I think that they definitely need a receiver. You're getting a number one guy in London. I talked about Perry and Winfrey before. I think that he's a great prospect, but another guy that I would have probably I would have taken Logan Hall over if you're going to address the interior D-line.
All right, on to the Dolphins here. They got 2 offensive linemen. Both, I think, are good picks. Zion Johnson at the late first is a good player. And then the other guy, Bernard Ryman, is honestly someone who probably should have been gone where Zion Johnson did. And they are ecstatic to get him there in the second. I would have considered Ryman at the Bengals' second first-round pick. But I like Penning a lot. So that's where we walked away with that one.
Vikings, you're getting one of the top corners in the draft in Andrew Booth. He's got that NFL length. And you're also getting Alec Lindstrom. I think that we decided is brother of
Chris.
What was his first name?
Chris Lindstrom, I think. Right? He was a first-round pick for the Falcons.
Right. Yeah, both Boston College boys. I think that he's definitely a guy that could rise up draft boards.
All right, and then moving on to the next team here, we got the New England Patriots. They have Treylon Burks, Christian Harris. I love both those picks. Treylon Burks, I love him as a talent. I don't know how he fits with Mac Jones, but as a talent, I think that's a great pick. Christian Harris just seems like a prototype, again, just a natural Patriots pick, taking that Alabama linebacker there in the second round.
Yeah, I think Burks is probably gone by 21, if we're being honest. But I think that, receiver is definitely a top need for New England. And if Bill thinks that Mac Jones and Treylon Burks can get it done together, then in Bill we trust, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Next up with the Saints, what are your thoughts?
Saints definitely lucked out here with Garrett Wilson falling all the way down to them at 18. He's our, 7th or 8th best prospect?
Mm-hmm. Top wide receiver.
Great, especially considering receivers, their glaring number one need.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jaquan Brisker. I mean, you're getting another guy that with a first round, in the top 32 players, I should say. And you're filling a need with a mid-second round pick, getting first round talent.
Yeah, I mean he's a great player, and we just kept coming at him. He was falling down boards, and they took advantage of it.
Yeah, that's a good draft by Brent Place there.
Then we have the Giants taken by El Diablo. I love this draft. Overall, Linderbaum might be a little rich, taking him top 10. I'm not just saying that because I wish he would fall to 31, but I think it's just a little rich taking him at 7. But overall, I think it's a really good draft. Kwanu could come and start right away. Same with Linderbaum. And Ebiketie should be able to start right away, at least on passing downs, and is someone who I definitely could see going in the first.
Yeah, I think that Linderbaum is definitely. I think that he could go in the top 10. I think that what makes it rich is just doubling down on the offensive line with the first 2 picks. I would have liked them to go edge there, but they ended up getting a first round talent with their second round pick anyway. So I think it ends up working out for them.
Jets, you got a lot of picks to critique here.
Yeah, Jets. Evan Neal slid to them at 4. I think that's a smart move. Getting an offensive tackle opposite Mekhi Becton. Sauce Gardner at 10. I think that, we discussed that. He could go higher than Stingley. Not in this draft, obviously. But, I think, addressing secondary is good. Right. Trey McBride we have our top-rated tight end. It might be early for him, but I love Trey McBride's fit with the Jets. That's who I see him going to. Mm-hmm. And then you're getting another receiving weapon with John Mechie.
Right. I really like
got your slot guy and Elijah Moore.
Right. And you can get John Mechie just kind of be that consistent outside presence. I really like the Mechie pick a lot. And then we got the Eagles here. I got a lot of picks now. I wish they used one of these 4 picks on an offensive weapon or a lineman. I just don't love the fact they took 4 defensive players when their offense is not even close to great or good even. It's just not very consistent because they're relying so much on Jalen Hurts' ability to run the ball. They're not going to be able to win games in the playoffs unless they are able to get more out of that offense, even if the defense is really good. And it's just weird they took back-to-back edges in the first round. It's just a strange strategy. I don't love this draft. I mean, the players are largely good, but I just don't love the what they went for with it.
I definitely would have liked them to take a receiver at some point in one of these picks. Mm-hmm. Doubling up on edge. Yeah, like we said, both good players. I think maybe I like addressing corner because we've addressed corner for the Eagles a few times in these drafts. But that
Okay,
second round pick, there's a lot of receivers available right there.
I have received a
I don't-
message that that the Eagles owner botched the second pick by accident, double click or something. So that would change it. If we had a
That's
wide
true.
receiver
That
there
could
at
have
the
been.
second pick,
It was a pretty quick.
that
thing,
might have
so
been in
maybe
the
it was
chat,
wrong.
and the chat just isn't working for me because I probably have I have 5 Chrome windows open. They all have 10 tabs. I'm just destroying my computer. So that may have been in there. And then we have Tim.
Yeah, this chat, Scott rationalized that. I don't know if you read that.
I can't read the chat.
It says, I have no idea what happened. That being said, it's a scenario I've thought about. Trayvon can flex inside. All right, he's got a plan. So Trayvon.
I would have taken Leo.
There you go.
Taken Leo. If you're talking flexing inside, you take Leo. But it's a mixed click anyway.
Yeah, I mean.
So, all right, now you got the Steelers. Give your thoughts.
Steelers, our main man Tim at the helm. I think that you don't pass on Nakobe Dean there at 20. I think that Devin Bush, Nakobe Dean, T.J. Watt. That's making for a solid front seven.
But how do you feel about passing on Desmond Ridder in the second? I don't love that. I love it as a Bengals fan. I don't love that as a good football fan. I think Grant may have frozen. I think he may have lagged out again. I'm just going to start talking about the next team. Next team is the Seahawks. Oh, we have him back in. I'm going to bring him back in while I talk to the Seahawks.
Lost me mid-go.
Yeah.
Where did I leave off at? What did I say?
I don't know, but I just said they shouldn't have passed on Desmond Ridder in the second round. And we'll just say you agree because it's just a weird choice.
Yeah, I agree.
Seahawks take the most Seahawks corner possible in Kyler Gordon. I think he may end up being a guy who goes in the first round. They have another guy who did go in the first round, right, with Trent McDuffie on Washington. I think Kyler Gordon might be the guy more likely to go in the first round, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of big offensive linemen that they could have taken at this pick.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Bernard Ryman was there at that pick. I think that easily could have been a selection for them.
Mm-hmm. All right, you got another easy one. Kobe Bryant, go ahead.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant. We talked about we thought that it was a little bit of a reach, but he's got fluid hips. He's got NFL length. So I mean, you can absolutely justify spending a day 2 pick on him.
Oh, this is competing with the Jags for the worst draft solely because of the first pick of Jordan Davis. Just a complete mystery. Why anyone would take Jordan Davis when they already have Vita Vea. Just not a fit at all. So I just don't like that pick at all. Kenneth Walker's fine, but is that really a need when the team Ali Murphy just retired. Ryan Jensen's a free agent, so is Alex Kappa. Chris Godwin's a free agent. Carlton Davis is a free agent. I just don't think either of these picks fit what they going to need at all.
Yeah, I think
the Jordan Davis
that value-wise, I think that Davis will probably go late 20s, early 30s, and Walker will probably go in the middle of the second round. So I think that they're good value. But yeah, as for team fits, I'm not a fan either.
All right, you got the Titans here, another easy one.
Yeah, Kenyon Green. I think that he's a guy that could see himself getting drafted in the teens. I think that he's a versatile interior lineman.
Mm-hmm.
And, if they're going to keep pounding the rock with Derrick Henry and have Ryan Tannehill be the guy running their team, then you're going to have to bolster that offensive line. Keep the gears turning, I guess you should say, their offense.
All right, I'm finishing this off with the Commanders. Malik Willis kind of gives a little something. He gives them potential. Excitement, I guess, would be something that he gives them would be nice with the uniform change. I don't know if they're really going to be competing super quick, that Malik Willis is going to, and I don't think Malik Willis is ready to compete in the NFL super quick either. I think he's more developmental. And then Daxton Hill, I expect there was better cornerbacks available. So I don't love either pick. Malik Willis is going to go somewhere in the top 15, maybe the top 10, probably the top 10 with the trade up, maybe. But I don't think I'm going to like it no matter where he ends up because I just don't think he's ready to start. and I don't think Washington's team is really going to support him the way he needs to be.
Yeah, I think that you can't pass him up if he's there. I think that he's, in my opinion, the best quarterback in the class.
Right. I understand the thought process.
I like that
I
a
don't
lot,
think
but that being said, I could see him going top.
No, I think we lost him again. All right. Well, we'll wait for him to get back, and then I think we'll call it for the night. Got through all 32 teams. Had a lot of fun. Had a couple no-shows, but overall, it was a really good draft. I mean, we only had, 7 guys out of our top 50, our top 65 not get drafted. So, that's a good draft. And we have Grant back. Let me bring him back on here.
Technical difficulties are killer.
We are wrapping up. Hopefully, Grant can figure out what is wrong, get that fixed. For next week, we're going to be doing another live draft. We'll probably just be doing something fun. We have the combine coming up, so we'll have a lot to talk about. Maybe do another mock, talk about what we're doing, maybe where some guys are moving around, risers, fallers. Could do a lot of stuff, but make sure you tune in because it's going to be a lot of fun. I think, do you have anything you want to say here before we end the show?
Nothing except it's always fun talking mock with you, Patrick. This one was really fun. I always like doing the live drafts, and anyone that's watching, anyone that had participated that does these live drafts, I'm constantly looking in the lobbies, joining them. So just let me know, and you might see my face around making some picks.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Everyone, have a nice night. Make sure you tune in next week for more mock draft talk. See ya.